morning to you, and welcome back to today's JRPG Weekly Update. I'm SuperDerek, and guys, we've got some good news and some really sad news to talk about, but it is JRPG news, so we gotta talk about it. So I'd like to lead with today's top headline, and that's that last week we lost a legendary Seiyuu. Actually, it was a week and a half ago. It was Keiji Fujiwara, who is probably perhaps best known for his work as Axel in the Japanese version of Kingdom Hearts, and also Reno from the Final Fantasy VII Remake that just recently came out. But I knew him best as Nial from Trails in the Sky, and also from my favorite anime, Hunter x Hunter, Leorio, which is it's gutting, you know. He's been prolific since the 90s, actually, appearing in over 200 animated series and nearly 300 video games. So if you've been listening to Japanese audio for any real amount of time, there's a good chance that you've actually already heard a lot of his work in the past, at least a handful of times. So, you know, his absence will be felt and he will be missed. Also, I do know that we lost a few other voice actors pretty recently, but I wanted to mostly focus right now on Keiji Fujiwara because he was so prolific in anime as well as JRPGs, and I really wanted to focus in on that for today. It's unfortunate news, but you know, I guess that's sort of one of those things that has to happen to us all someday. Well, in other news, and hopefully more upbeat news, we did get a game announced here from publisher Enad Global 7, who announced a new title called Minimal Effect, and it is an action RPG and parody homage to Mass Effect. You can probably get that from the play on the name of Minimal Effect. And basically the game's looking like it's gonna be an action RPG that takes place in space and is heavily influenced, if not just straight up influenced by Mass Effect. And anyways, the game's gonna be coming to PC and major consoles, whatever that means, in 2021. So hopefully that means, you know, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One, or whatever is available at the time when it comes out in 2021. I guess we will see. And in release date updates, Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris has been delayed from May 22nd to July 10th. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. I'm guessing I pronounced it very wrong, very differently from how some Japanese people would probably pronounce it. But, you know, it's a nonsense word, so whatever. The game will be launching worldwide for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on July 10th, so you've got that to look forward to. Bandai Namco have announced that Doraemon Story of Seasons on the PlayStation 4 is coming to the North America and Europe on September 4th of this year. And also, this is for Japan here, but it's very important for a lot of you guys out there anyway, and that's that Legend of Heroes Hajimare no Kiseki is launching in Japan on August 27th. That is the new Kiseki game. You know, in the West, we know them as the Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, Trails of Cold Steel. Well, it sounds like this is going to be sort of like Trails of Beginnings or Trails of the Begin. We'll see what they do when they eventually localize it. Speaking of which, that hasn't been announced that they're localizing it yet, but I still feel pretty positive about it. The game's launching on PlayStation 4 in Japan on the 27th of August, and yeah, high hopes for a Western announcement, hopefully sooner than later. Knock on wood. We will see what happens. In other news, Square Enix has released an update for Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age on PC as well as PS4, which adds the ability to reset job licenses for your characters within the game. So that's a feature that I think already existed on the Switch and Xbox One versions of the game. So that kind of brings the PS4 and PC versions kind of more on a one-to-one. They're not quite exact the same. I think that there's some differences as far as like how New Game Plus works between the two. And I guess that there were mods on PC that had already introduced it, but the fact that it's coming to PS4 is pretty cool because it sounds like this is a feature that a lot of people really do like. And it's nice to see that Square Enix is still developing updates for the game. That brings us to SuperDerek news, which I actually have a little bit of to talk about today. So, stick around because, well, about a week and a half ago, I finally put out a video that I had been sitting on for about a year now, almost a year to the day, in which I did a big old DIY project of making some stone pillars out of styrofoam and mortar and stuff. And I think that it came out really well. The pillars did. The video, I think, was okay. It was mostly a bunch of cell phone footage kind of pieced together. It definitely doesn't feel very representative of like the quality of video that I try to normally put together, but I figured it's a big old project. It's more like a build log really than anything, and I just wanted to show you guys how I did it in case you want to make something cool for your game room. I was in the video talking about potentially like maybe a master stored display that looks like a Triforce or something out of stone. I think that would be pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do with this, and anyways, it's like a 42-minute video. I just wanted to put something out there to help you guys kill some time because I knew that it would be a little while before I was able to put out a video, like a review or something. Speaking of which, I did actually put out very recently, just on Wednesday of this week, I put out a review of Trials of Mana on Wednesday before the game was released. It came out on Friday, actually, and I hope you guys are enjoying that game as much as I did. Now, Square Enix sent me a copy of the game on last Saturday, and I had to play it. It was a 30-hour playthrough. I got through it by the end of Monday, I think. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I put in 30 hours into the game. Tuesday, I wrote, filmed, and edited the whole review in time to have it out on Wednesday when the embargo lifted. So that was exhausting, and I actually had a lot of fun with it, and that video is doing super well compared to a lot of the other ones that I've been putting out lately. So I'm just really thankful that you guys are enjoying that video as much as you seem to be. And if you haven't already seen it, go give it a watch. I'm pretty darn proud of it, and super just blown away still that Square Enix actually reached out to me unprompted, and they're like, "Here you go." That was awesome. I'm still reeling from it. Anyways, aside from that, in other SuperDerek news, on Saturday night, just last night for me, I finally finished my playthrough of Trails in the Sky, which took about 75 hours from start to finish because, I mean, a lot of people can speed through it faster, but obviously a lot of what I do, I like to listen to the voice acting. In this game, I added the voiceover mod to the game. And because you're not just reading inside your head, right? It takes longer to say things physically than it takes to read something normally. So my playthrough ended up being a bit longer than average, I think. But it's so... Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to talk about that in a review, which is hopefully just around the corner in like 2 or 3 weeks, I hope. But before we do that, I got a Shadow of Destiny review to put out at some point, hopefully soon. Anyways, that's it for SuperDerek news. In community news, there is something that was kind of interesting that came up, and that's a remake, a fan remake of Hydline for the NES. That release of Hydline, somebody remade it. Ragnarok Bunny recently put out a PC remake of this NES release of Hydline, and the game's currently available for download for free, and he's done a lot of work to make it more bearable to modern gamers. The remake features updated action kind of combat, so you push a button and he swings a sword, I guess. And he's changed out some bosses. There's more burnable bushes, and there's actually fewer enemies in the game now. And this will likely make it a lot better for a lot of you guys. I hope so. You should definitely check it out, especially since it's for free, and it probably addresses a lot of the issues that I kind of took up with it. But I actually have kind of a more nuanced opinion of the game than just, oh, Hydline bad. If you want to see that video, I'll link to it up here, there. That's where it's going to be, and you might want to check it out. But it is also like 6 years old, so it's not exactly like my great quality of video that I try to strive for by today's standards, but I was pretty proud of it back in the day. Anyways, along with the remake, Ragnarocker Bunny also passed along his apology for remaking it and making this remake exist. And that leaves us with today's JRPG Weekly forecast, and that is going to start with Sakura Wars at the beginning of the week here. A tactical RPG by Sega is launching on April 28th on the PlayStation 4. I hear a lot of people are super excited about this. I'm completely uninitiated. I guess this is one of the first Sakura Wars games to come to the West. I'm just so inundated with other games that I needed to do. I have a feeling this one's going to slip under my radar, but it does look at least really cool based on all the trailers that I've been seeing. So hopefully at some point I'll be able to get to it. Also, we have Fairy Knights. It's a action RPG by WID Studio, I guess. It's coming to Nintendo Switch on the 30th. The game already launched on PC just in February of 2019, though. And then also we have Book of Demons, which is an action RPG by Think Truck, which is also launching on the Nintendo Switch and PS4 and Xbox One on the 30th. That game launched on iOS actually back in February of this year, but also launched on PC in December of 2018. And now that leaves me with today's question of the week, and I kind of wanted to circle back around to today's top headline about Keiji Fujiwara and his passing, and I'm going to link to his Wikipedia article down below. It's basically got a list of all of his works from all of the games that he's been in, all of the various anime and VODs that he's been a part of, and I'd like you guys to just take a quick look through that and check out some of the anime that maybe you're more familiar with, and see if you can put a voice to this guy's work, because I think a lot of you probably know him for things that you don't even know him for. You just recognize the voice, and I want to know, what are some of your favorite works that he's been in? Like, what is your favorite role that Keiji Fujiwara filled? That's really what I just want to do, is kind of think about some of the awesome things that he's done in his life, and try to sort of come up with some things to add to my watch list. Really, just make my anime backlog even more daunting than it already is, if you could. So if you like the JRPG Weekly Update, make sure you get subscribed, because we try to do this every Monday except for last week, which I couldn't do because I was making my review of Trials of Mana. But if you like what you saw today, make sure you get subscribed. And I am SuperDerek, and this has all been news to me. Have a good day, everyone.